Egypt, not the greatest country, but an ally, the linchpin of the Middle East. It was an ally to Israel, used to be. And Gaddafi and Mubarak weren't great guys, but they were there because they were strong men who kept the terrorists down, who stabilized that country. And you know what the left told us? They pretended like the Muslim Brotherhood would never get into power. Do they not read history? Because the Muslim Brotherhood is an organization that has blamed the West for everything since the days of Thomas Jefferson. They said, oh, they're not strong enough to rise up in Egypt. Don't worry, democracy will prevail. Trust us, they will never run for office. Well, they did, and they won. And they won the presidency. So we have the Muslim Brotherhood controlling Egypt. It is stacking its government with radicals. And right now we're pretending that it's not happening. We're pretending that Christians, Coptic Christians in Egypt, aren't being prosecuted because we're not standing up for it. Or the Maronites in Lebanon. You don't hear a word from this administration about Christians being prosecuted, yet when Sandra Fluke gets called a name, it's national headlines. I could go off into a whole other speech about radical Islam. I won't. But let's also pretend that Al-Qaeda has been decimated. Al-Qaeda has been decimated. That was unbelievable when they were trying to convince us of that. We know they're getting stronger in Northern Africa. You look at Algeria, you look at Libya, you look at Tunisia, you look at Mali. Let's pretend that the world likes us more now, right? China's hacking into our systems, Russian bombers are circling Guam. But we just pretend that with one speech that the president gave in Cairo, where he praised Islam for pottery and tapestries, and talked about a shared history of tolerance. Talk about let's play pretend. that was going to change their minds. And perhaps the most glaring area of let's play pretend is let's pretend that at this point, 4 dead Americans makes no difference. Let's also pretend that Israel is more secure than it was before. Oh, and that we have their backs if anything else happens. Let's pretend that torture isn't effective on our enemies when we know that it is. And let's pretend that the war on women is something that the Republicans are doing domestically instead of what radical Islam is doing to women all over the world.